Okay, today we look at solving two-step equations. It's called a two-step equation because there are two steps. In order to solve a two-step equation, you're going to do the following steps. The first step is to isolate the term with the variable in it. So get that term all by itself on one side of the equation. So for example, if we had the equation 2x plus 6 equals 14, we would want to get the term with the 2x on one side of the equation all by itself. So we want to get this term here all by itself. So that's the first step. Once that's by itself, the second step is to isolate the variable. Well, here's the variable. Right now it's being multiplied by 2, so we would need to undo that multiplication by 2. We'll do an example, a couple of examples so you can see how this is done. The first example is to solve 2x plus 6 equals 14. It's a two-step equation. We want to solve this two-step equation. In order to do that, we're going to look at the term with the x in it. There's the x term. We want to isolate that term. So in this case, we want to get rid of that plus 6 on the left. And the way that we do that is the same way that we did for the single-step equations. If we're going to get rid of a plus 6, we need to subtract 6. Can't just subtract 6 from one side. We need to subtract it from both sides in order for the equation to remain balanced. So now on the left we have 2x. The plus 6 and the minus 6 give us 0. And on the right hand side we get 14 minus 6, which is equal to 8. From here we're going to so that's the first step, isolating the term with the variable in it. We've done that. The second step is to eliminate or isolate the x, or the variable, which in this case is x. So right now x is being multiplied by 2. We need to undo that multiplication by 2. We do that with division by 2. When you divide one side of the equation by 2, you have to divide the other side of the equation by 2. And now if we do the arithmetic, 2 divided by 2 is 1, leaving us with an x on the left, and 8 divided by 2 is 4, leaving us a 4 on the right. So there's our answer right there, x equals 4. Again, just like we did with the single step equations, we can actually check our answer by substituting x equals 4 into the original question, evaluating the left side, and we should find that the left side and the right side are equal. If they're not, we've made a mistake somewhere. All right, here's another one. 3x minus 4 equals negative 13. So again, the first step is to isolate the term with the variable in it. Here's the term with the variable. We want to get that term all by itself. So in this case, we need to get rid of the minus 4. So we want to have 3x minus 4. In order to get rid of a minus 4, we're going to add 4. And if we add 4 on the left, we need to add 4 on the right. From here, 3x, a negative 4 plus 4 is 0, so we're left with 3x on the left. Negative 13 plus 4 works out to negative 9. We now have the term with the variable isolated. That's the first step. And the second step is to isolate the variable itself. In this case, x is being multiplied by 3. To undo a multiplication by 3, we need to divide by 3. And again, if we're dividing by 3 on one side of the equation, we need to divide by 3 on the other side. So we should get a result of x equals negative 3 here. And again, if we took our answer, substituted it into the original question, so everywhere we see an x, we replace it with a negative 3. Evaluate the left side, we should get that the left side and the right side are equal. All right, one more example. Here's negative 5x minus 10 equals 55. Same sort of thing, two-step equation. We want to isolate the term with the x in it. So we need to get rid of a minus 10. The way that we get rid of a minus 10 is by adding 10 to both sides. Again, you can't just do it to one. Negative 10 plus 10 is nothing, so we're left with a negative 5x. And then 55 plus 10 is 65. We've isolated the term with the x in it. We need to now isolate x. In this case, we're going to divide not just by 5, but we need to get rid of that negative as well, so we're going to divide by negative 5. So we divide by negative 5 on the left. We need to divide by negative 5 on the right. Negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1, so we're left with an x on the left, and 65 divided by negative 5 works out to negative 13. Again, there's our answer. Substitute the answer back into the equation, verify that it's correct, and you're done. So that pretty much wraps up the two-step equations. If you didn't have any trouble with the one-step equations, then the two steps should be fairly straightforward. You can start working on, in fact, you should finish page 113 today. And then if you finish early, you may want to have a look at some of the multi-step equations on page 114. We'll look at those in the next lesson, but if you want to get a jump on it, you're more than welcome to.